This method does not include any car mechanic or car guru techniques at all. It's just straightforward how to use the filters and search engines. Hi, welcome back to CarsAddiction.com. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ryan and we share car-related content every Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday is a short snippet of any car encounter I come across, and Sunday is a full-fledged video of a project I'm doing, a car build, or anything else that is car-related. And this week is all about what car you should buy. This video is intended for car enthusiasts and people who don't know absolutely nothing on cars. The idea is to familiarize yourself what is available on the market and actively search on 3 specific cars to get, the know-how of what prices you should be paying for and what sort of specs to go for. Nowadays, we are spoiled for choice. Basically, we have up to 100 manufacturers available to choose from. Each manufacturer has an average of 3 to 10 cars on that generation, let alone past generations. Even each variant sort of is sold with different styles, body styles, engines. So you can see how quickly the number multiplies on what cars there are available on the market. And so we are very spoiled for choice, and when it comes to buy a new or used, we are very overwhelmed with what is available on the market. Now, for this video, I'm going to use autotrader.co.uk, which has a good filtering out system, but mainly just go on any car site and use their own filter system. Nowadays, everyone has something similar. For the US, I prefer Auto Tempest. For UK, autotrader.co.uk. And for rest of Europe, is Autoscout24. So the first thing you should actually limit yourself is the budget. It's useless looking into cars that cost more than you can afford. So let's put in a budget of 20,000. Now, some sites don't have this option, but I do like it when they do. There's the minimum budget. I like to put something about 1,000 or something to remove all the unwanted cars, such as non-runners or projects, or even the ones without a price. If the seller really wants to sell the car, they should actually put the price. So tip number 1 is set the budget. Tip number 2 is set what body style you like. Now, there are various body styles. You can go for estate, SUV, hatchback, convertible, pickup, van. This goes on. If you're helping someone to find a car for them and they tell you like, I'm open to anything, just get back to them. Are you sure? Are you sure you want a van? They're gonna say no. Pickup? No, that's not me. You have kids. Do you want the 4 doors or 2 doors is fine? So they're gonna say, oh yeah, better 4 doors. So you have to remove convertibles and coupes. And this way you actually narrow down the search even further. Point number 3 is the age of the vehicle. Now, do you want to be driving something from the 70s or 80s, or you're fine for something that's from 90s onwards and up? Do you want something reliable and that has less on maintenance? And this is where you ask yourself what age you should be looking for. Some people limit themselves to 10 years or newer, and some people, don't even care about this. Now, my recommendation is to start the search for cars that are already 3 years or older. This way you get the most of the depreciation. And if you're looking for something, daily or something, you won't want anything that's about 12 years or older. So limit your search between cars that are 3 to 12 years old. Now, also when you're searching, I also like to think in back of my hand, how much can I sell the car after I'm done with it, after 3 years of ownership or 5 years of ownership. The older the car you go, the better off you'll be, because the depreciation would already have hit. And the newer the car you'll be losing money, but you'll have something that's new and, more reliable. But it's sort of, there's no science, it's just go with your gut on this. Tip number 4 is transmission. Some manufacturers do not offer manual transmissions anymore on their cars and only limit to automatics. So if you clearly want a manual car, you should specify it now. So that will reduce the number of cars in your search list. Tip number 5 is about the engine. Are you a person that prefers a high capacity engine, a nice big V8? Or you're more onto the efficient side? You like your economy, you don't want to waste fuel, and you're better off with a smaller engine. So put that in. Now, if you do like a bigger engine, go for 1800cc or above. And if you're more into efficiency, go below that. You would also want to look into the fuel type of the vehicle. There's diesel, petrol, electric, or hybrid, which is a mix of two. You'd like to put in your preference. Do you think electric technology is too soon to have in a car, so you actually prefer petrol, diesel? It's all about preference, and put that in so your numbers will further go down in your search results, and will make things go easier when you get to the final sort of list you have. Tip number 6 is not so important technically, but it's important to you as a person because you're investing a lot of money into a car and you need to feel comfortable with. It's a bit superficial, and it's all about choosing the manufacturer you prefer. Now, you might be a person that prefers Japanese or German cars because they're more reliable. You are a person from, with big heritage and you prefer American cars or British cars. There's nothing to worry about it. The car needs to speak your personality, so you must feel comfortable with the car. So what you do is go back to the makes or manufacturers in the list and see what manufacturers are available for the previous filters you have done. The list shouldn't be as big as it was before, so quickly you can identify which manufacturer is providing a car that most fits you. Now, when you finish this, you are left with a more manageable sort of list of cars, much less than that initial 400,000 we had. So the idea is to go back to the first page of the search, go in the sorting area and go preference by price highest to lowest. Now you're gonna go flip through some pages to get an idea of what kind of cars there are, go back and forth onto the filters. And as well, once you start going through the pages and find cars that are uninteresting, that means you've hit in that budget, which cars below that budget are not so interesting or old or whatnot. So what you want to do is update the filters accordingly. Now there's a lot of back and forth with the filters and going through the cars, but just get a piece of paper and make sure you note down which cars you like. So later on, when you're finished searching, what you'll do is actually go onto a forum, a dedicated forum of that specific car. Let's take a Mercedes C-Class, and you'll ask the forum members their opinion on the car, what to look for, or what options should the car have, or what should I avoid. And this will give you sort of more feedback on what you should be looking for. So now that you have like a list of cars you want, and each one you know what to look for, what to avoid, this would sort of give you more power of and more sort of knowledge of what you should look out when you're searching. So before you searched, when you had no clue actually what you wanted, now you actually have something specific what you want, and you're actively searching week by week, month by month. And you should actually by now notice the trend on prices and when there's a good deal and when to jump on it immediately. And this is how you actually should buy a used car, with by research and filtering down the results on search engines. Now I hope you found this video useful. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. Take care.